What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. You guys, we made it. Okay, we are here. We are at the end of the season. Okay, we have made it to Love After Lockup, season 3, episode 34. Now it took us 34 episodes to get here, honey, but we are here. It looks like there's gonna be a new season with some new people starting in June. So there's that. Now, because this is the finale, they were trying to wrap it all up, and give us a nice little bow. There was some happy endings, and then there was just some plain old endings. Um, so let me go ahead and talk to you guys about Quaylon and Chevelle. So we left off with them arguing last week. They were outside yelling and screaming, arguing, cussing each other out. Um, he talking about some of the relationship is over, you sneaky, you this, you that. And she was like, you gotta be kidding me right now. He was like, you didn't keep your man happy. She was like, what? Like, I did everything for you. I'm struggling right now financially because of taking care of you. And he, after saying she ain't do nothing for him and she couldn't keep him happy, climbed his happy ass in that truck she bought him when he didn't even have a damn driver's license. So I don't know how in the world she ain't do nothing for you and you literally about to get into the car that she purchased for you. Then she starts saying, I want my phone, I want my phone, I want my phone. Now what I'm not clear on was, did he still have her personal phone, or did he have the phone that she purchased for him and she wanted it back? Either way, they argued back and forth over the phone, and finally he gets out of the truck and slams the phone on the concrete, right? You want your phone? Fine, here, boom. So I felt like maybe it was the phone she gave him, and he was like, well, I'll give it back to you, but I'm gonna destroy the shit first. Real immature stuff. But the whole argument was ridiculous. The police show up because somebody didn't call the police because they out there acting a damn fool. Now Chevelle was about to get arrested. She gets in her car, closes the door, and won't talk to the police. And the police are literally like, I felt like they weren't being rude at all. They were there to make sure she was okay, because somebody called on a domestic situation. So she don't want Quaylon, to get arrested. So now she's like, nothing's wrong. I'm not talking to the police. I'm not getting out of the car. And she actually started up the car like she was getting ready to pull off. And the producers had to say, Chevelle, please don't pull off. Chevelle, do not leave, because they knew then it was going to take this situation to the stratosphere. Now, the police asked production to stop filming, so we didn't get to see the de-escalation. But what they told us was the police left once they realized that Chevelle was okay and that Quaylon was no threat. And of course, now he's all like, this is ridiculous. The police really rolled up on me. Like, it wasn't even that serious. I mean, I broke a phone. What's the big deal? And they ain't have to do all that. Sir, y'all are outside yelling at the top of y'all lungs. Hell, if y'all my neighbors, I'm calling the police too. Because I don't know what's going on. And Chevelle is following him. To his credit, he was trying to walk away. But Chevelle is following him. And then she actually got physical. Now, what I found interesting was she started hitting on him, and production stepped in and was like, don't put your hands on him, Chevelle. Don't put your hands on him. But y'all let Andrea last season jump on Lamar and beat his ass. I don't remember production stopping that. Y'all let Britney smack the dog you-know-what out of Marcelino. I ain't seen nobody stopping that. But all of a sudden now, Chevelle, we can't put our hands on him. We can't do that. And so Quaylon ends up leaving, and Chevelle is of course distraught, upset, crying, emotional, talking about everything she did for him and how he treated her and how, he never really loved her and all the promises he made. And her final words to us was, if you dating somebody in jail, break up with them because they just using you. Well, my final words to you, Chevelle, is don't ever wear that outfit again. Ever. Burn it. I don't know who gave it to you. I don't know who told you it was a good idea. I don't know who did not tell you to take that shit off. When you went to the bridal shop with your friend, I said it last week, she should have immediately took you out of there and took you down to the Ashley Stewart, the Lane Bryant, the Rainbow, the 21, the Forever 21, whatever, and found you another outfit. Because that one is not the answer. And I feel bad that is what they filmed you in, ma'am. Ma'am. Moving on. Now, then we have um John and Christina and her sister Tara. So she meeting up with her sister in the middle of the night. Well, it ain't really the middle of the night because she said she had to get home by curfew, so it must not have been that late, but it was dark. And she asked her sister point blank, "Did you sleep with John?" Like, Mom told me she heard some things, she saw some things, and Tara was like, "I mean, Mama don't know, her head from her ass half the time." She was like, "Girl, stop it. Did you sleep with John point blank and period? Were you flirting with John first?" She asked. And Tara was like, "Well, I mean, yeah, there was a little flirting going on." And she was like, "Well, did you sleep with him?" And she was like, "No, I didn't sleep with him. I mean, we almost kissed." No, she said we almost slept together. We almost kissed. Now, to me, a kiss and having sex is it's a long way from kissing and sex. But, maybe in her mind, the kissing was going to lead to more like that, but just the dam breaking. She said, Christina was like, I feel really bad that you basically was spending more time with my husband than I was, and you know him better than me. And she was like, "Yeah, I do. I know him better than you know him." And she was like, "How could you do this to me?" And so, of course, Tara was like, "Well, you did it to me." Because, Christina told us, I don't know if I said that in my review or not, my bad. But Christina told us that she had slept with her baby daddy. Come to find out, she slept with the baby daddy on the floor while Tara was asleep on the couch. That's some dirty shit. That is some crackhead shit. Y'all was all clearly high. Because that is some crackhead shit. You gonna sleep with the man on the floor while she is asleep? Child. So anyway, they got to arguing, and she even slapped Tara. Tara let her have it. Tara was like, "I'm gonna let you have that one." I felt like she wasn't gonna let her have a second one, but she let her have that first one. And again, production ain't step in. I didn't see production say nothing. But ultimately, she was upset, and she said, "I don't know what to do at this point. Like, I can't break up with John because that would mess up my parole." And once again, I'm just thinking about this system and how this system locks us into these things. Now, granted, you married a man that you had only known for a couple of months and never, only met through jail. But if the relationship doesn't work out, now you're being forced to stay in a relationship that may or may not be the best relationship for you, or risk going back to jail because that's his address that he signed you out under. And I can only think, what if this was an abusive relationship? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, but then later on we'll talk about Puppy, because we'll get to Puppy in a minute, because she did it. But we'll get there in a minute. So she confronts John, later on she confronts John, and John tells her, he said, "Oh, the other thing, the sister said the same thing to her that the mother said." The sister said, "Listen, John, in the beginning, I was really appreciative. He was a good guy. He looked out for us. He took us in when he didn't have to. Like, all of that was great." She said, "But if something ain't right with him, and you need to keep your eyes open. You need to turn your third eye on, and you need to pay attention. You need to see what's going on, because something here ain't right." And Christina was like, "Well, I'll take care of, you stay out of it. That's between me and John. That's my business." And Tara told producers, like, "Listen, when she get out of her honeymoon phase, she gonna see what it is. She gonna get out of her honeymoon phase, and she gonna see it for what it is." Ultimately, she confronts John. John does admit what happened. He admits it. And, they end up, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. She admits it, of what was going on. And then he tells her that, there was some flirting, and she tried to kiss him, but he didn't kiss her, so nothing happened. And she was like, "Well, why did you lie to me?" Girl, he lied because that's why people lie. The president of the United States lied about having an affair and got impeached for it. Like, that's what we do. People lie when they doing something they ain't supposed to be doing. Girl, don't act like that's the shock. "You lied to me." Of course he did. Anyway, but he told her, "Listen, I love you. I'm sorry. Nothing happened. It could have happened, but I stopped myself." And Christina is basically in a position where she just got to trust him. And she decided to, forgive him because she loves him. Now, again, I don't know how much of her decision is made because she loves him so much, or how much of her decision was made because she don't have nowhere else to go, or her mama. Mama did too. Anyway, all right, let's get into Amber and Puppy. Lord, Amber's leaving work. She gets a phone call from Puppy's supervisor, who was also Amber's friend. That's how Puppy got the job. Amber hooked her up. And she says, listen, Puppy hasn't made it to, because, she's cleaning houses. And she said, Puppy hasn't made it to the house where she's supposed to be. Like, I know where the last house was, but she's running late. She's supposed to be at the next house. What's going on? So Amber, she says, send me the address. I'll go check. I'll see if she's there. I'll see what's going on. So she goes to the address of the house, and Puppy is there. Honey, Puppy drunk as hell. She done drank up all the people liquor, and now she is swimming in the pool butt ass naked. Now, it looked like she did have on her bra and panties, but that ain't my business. I'm going to let production have it. She was butt ass naked. She gets out of the pool, and she's drunk, and she's doing that drunk talk. Amber is over it. Amber is done and over it. She said, you know what, Puppy? Clearly, me and you are on different paths. We had conversations when we were in jail about what we were going to do, and this is not the plan. She said, you don't want to do shit. You want to chill out. You want to relax. You don't want to do nothing. She said, listen, I sat in jail for 4 years doing nothing. Now is go time. I'm working. I'm hustling. I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to do a better life. And I'm not going backwards. I'm not going back to jail. And I'm not messing in. So you or nobody else is going to bring me down. And so at this point, I'm done. I love you, but I'm done. And Puppy was like, well, what do I need to do? What can I do? What can I do? Amber says, I need you to stop drinking. Puppy is holding a bottle of Don. I think it was Don Julio, the tequila. And she took a sip and said, I can stop drinking. Puppy was like, really? Amber was like, really? So, Amber told her, she said, listen, you got to show me. If you show me you can do better, then fine. But until then, I'm not. I can't. So, she ends up, she ends up pulling off, and what we found out later on, she said, I'm going to talk to my parole officer, I'm going to see if I can get my address changed, and I'm done. I can't do this. Now, what Amber ended up doing was, she said she stopped speaking to Puppy, she got her address changed, and she got her own place. Now, for those of y'all that are more familiar with these situations as it relates to, jail, does she have to be signed out to somebody, or can she just get her own place? Because she said she got her own spot. But maybe because she's been out so long and she hasn't had any problems, I don't know. Whatever the situation is, child. So, that's what she's doing. She's back with her boyfriend. She's back with old dude. And they seem to be doing really well, posting all over to the Instagram and stuff. Puppy is upset. She's hurt. She don't understand why Amber don't love her no more. And she said, but as far as I'm concerned, Amber is still my wifey. I still love her. I still want to be with her. Puppy, baby girl, I'm so sorry that you don't see what's going on in front of you, but it's not happening. It's not happening. And she still hasn't gotten the situation straight with the other guy being his child. Listen, I don't know what that situation is all about. I don't even understand at this point. But the lawyer said when he died, you get everything, girl. I would just hold out on that one. And don't be the reason why he died. That's it. That's all. Anyway. John, Lacey, and Shane. So, John seems to be doing really well. He said that, a lot of his toxic behavior is connected back to Lacey, and that, she was a toxic person in his life. And he's doing really well. He's going to the methadone clinic. So he's been clean, but he's on methadone, And so they showed him, and he was talking about some of the side effects. He got sick while he was doing his interview. And he was like, this is one of the side effects from the methadone. The methadone is really bad. And these are some of the side effects. He wrote a letter to Lacey, basically telling her, I know what you did. You were out of my life. I don't want to deal with you anymore. Basically a goodbye letter. But he told her, I know what you did. Now, I still don't know whether for sure that Lacey called the police on that man that night, but I kind of feel like he did. I kind of feel like she did. Later on, we see John going out on a date. He's still clean. He has a new girlfriend, and he's doing really well. He's doing, at least as of the end of this episode, he's doing really well. Lacey and Shane, we saw the gender reveal. It's a little girl, even though Shane wanted a boy, but it's a little girl. And when they went to have the baby, unfortunately, Lacey had some really serious complications. There was an air bubble or something that from the epidural that had traveled to her brain, and so she had to be on bed rest and everything for a while. And but her and Shane seem to be doing really well. They know that there's going to be some challenges ahead. You know, they got a bunch of kids now, and you know, there are going to be some struggles, but he said, you know, as long as we keep our eyes on each other and not the other stuff and don't let ourselves get caught up, we should be pretty good, you know. So good for them. Good for them. They seem to end in a good place. Now, we have Sarah, Malcolm, and, what's that boy name? Is it Chris? What's that boy name? I don't even care. She's talking to Malcolm, and basically he's asking her, so are you and him sleeping together? It's not Chris. I'm thinking about Married at First Sight. It's something else. But are y'all sleeping together? And she's like, I mean, that's none of your business. Well, to me, that's a yes. You tell me that's none of your business, that's a yes. So she says, look, at this point, I really would like for us, you know, to keep kicking it. But I don't want a relationship, you know, and I know my situation is complicated, so it's not fair for me to really bring anybody into that. But yeah, like basically she was asking him, does he want a friends with benefits situation? And he was like, yeah, no, I'm good. No, I don't need a friends with benefits situation. Now, back up on the other end, Michael, that's his name. Michael is, you know, he's still flirting with the girl, and she doing everything except for getting butt naked and trying to get him to come back to the hotel with her. And he's like, no, that's not what I want to do. No, no, no. I'm really trying to, you know, I need some time to think. And he said, you know, any other time I'd be with it. But, you know, right now I'm really trying to just focus on some other things. Right now I'm trying to do this. And so he ends up going back, which of course shocked the hell out of Sarah when he showed up. And she said, now, I mean, I ain't heard from him in all this time, but he did show up. So, I mean, that means something, right? No. No, it doesn't. Doesn't mean a damn thing. And he tells Sarah, listen, I missed you. You know, I want to be with you. I love you. And he ends up giving her a ring and proposing to her again, saying, I like this family unit. I want us to be a family again. I want us to be back together. And she doesn't give him a yes. She's like, listen, he hasn't earned a yes from me. But she puts the ring on her finger. Now, as Michael is pulling off to follow her back to the house, I'm assuming, who calls? Maria, crazy girl from Florida. And as of the end of this episode, Sarah left Michael again. Michael left Sarah again and went back to Maria down in Florida. Now, for those who don't know, we know that Michael ended up getting arrested for something dealing with child neglect or something like that. So, child, it's a whole situation with Michael. Anyway, but I don't have no sympathy for Sarah. Why I don't have no sympathy for Sarah? Because Michael is never going to change. This is who he is. And I do believe that Michael has feelings for Sarah, but I don't think Michael has enough feelings for Sarah to do the right thing. All right, Lamar and Andrea. It is her birthday party, and she is having a traditional African feast. She's from Ghana, and she wants a party that is reflective of her roots and her history, and it looked like a really, really nice gathering. Now, we know her friends are in town from Utah, but, you know, they was feeling some kind of way about her. They feel like she done changed and got Hollywood, and she was feeling some kind of way about them because she said they're very judgmental. She wouldn't let them in her house. And so they show up to the party, and what I like is that Lamar's daughter, his oldest daughter, showed up with her kids, and I thought that was really nice. Now, Andrea's friends from Utah showed up, and they start talking to her about the fact that they feel like she's changed, and why doesn't she have on her proper Mormon undergarments under her dresses. And Andrea said, because I like my body. and I like showing off my body, and I can do that. And Andrea was like, let me tell you something. If you come over here with this mess, then I'm going to ask you to leave because we partying and we not here for none of that. And you know what? For once, I was really with Andrea. You know, I very seldom agree with her because y'all know she be doing the most. But for once, I'm with her. I am with her. I am with her. Don't come to my party with no whole bunch of nonsense, especially no stuff like, why I had no undergarment on and I don't have this and I don't have that. First of all, my husband is standing right there. If anybody got a problem with the way I'm dressed, he should have a problem. And if he good, I'm good, we good. Second of all, I know my religion just like you know my religion. I don't need you here questioning or judging what I'm doing, what I'm not doing. So Andrea gonna turn to her friends and say, you know what? I tell you what, y'all could be worried about my undergarments and all of that, but when was the last time y'all did an act of kindness? When was the last time y'all fed the homeless? When was the last time y'all did this, this, and this? And she said, you know, don't come here judge me because y'all don't know what my life is like now. My life has changed. And she started talking about some of her experiences. Now, and she started talking about what her kids have had to go through and adjust to being in Watts. And she said, life in Watts in Utah is totally different. So don't talk to me and judge me until you walk a mile in my shoes. So the one lady, her friend Carrie, kept arguing with her about how Utah is not that much different from Watts. Girl, if you don't go sit your Karen ass down somewhere. And so Andrea used the example, do you have fear when you go outside to walk to your mailbox? Are you scared to walk to your mailbox? She gonna say I am because I'm out of shape and my mailbox is a mile from my house. Bitch, if you don't. Then she gonna go off. She's off in the bathroom crying because, you know, Andrea cussed her out. Yeah, I know she did. She in the bathroom crying, talking about, I mean, everybody has experiences. You can't judge my experience and say that my experience is any different from your experience. And it's not. I mean, yes, I do. I'm afraid to go to the mailbox. I could get hit by a car. So her other friend from Utah, the black one, was like, girl, just apologize. I need you to just go and apologize to her. Can you please just go apologize? So she eventually comes back out and she apologizes and she tries to hug Andrea. She said, can I give you a hug? She was like, you can hug me, but I'm not going to hug you back. I'm not ready for that. I said, you better. Listen, y'all know I don't normally be agreeing with Andrea, girl, but Andrea was hilarious, okay? I was like, you better. You better. So then, you know, they got over that, child. They got over that. And she announced that, you know, the whole family is going to do a mission. And they're going to do the mission in Ghana. She's going to go back to her country. And that the whole family is going. And Lamar was like, you know what? Never in a million years would I think, you know, even when I left jail, would I think I'd be stepping foot, you know, in Africa. And so it means something. It's a big deal. You know, it really, really means something to me. All right. I think last but not least, I think we're down to the last couple, child. I know this is running long, but listen, they gave us a 2-hour episode. I gotta get with it. Oh no, Britney and Marcelino. So we got 2 more couples. So Britney and Marcelino. So Britney is still trying to, you know, play Captain Save-A-Hole with her mama. And Marcelino was telling her, listen, I know that's your mama and I can appreciate that. But at the end of the day, you are neglecting me and you are neglecting your kids. You know, this trip to Alaska has been great. It's been, you know, I've loved seeing it. I've loved being in the wilderness. I've loved being around your dad and getting to know your dad and your other family. But let's be clear. You need to figure out what you're going to do with your mama. Or it's going to, me and you going to have some problems. And so Brittany was like, listen, I hear you, but it's my mother. She said, and all I can think about is I want to fight for her the way I wanted somebody to fight for me when I was in the streets. And I know it's my mom. And I get it that, you know, no matter what I do, it just may not work. But it's my mom. So she ends up taking her mother to a treatment center. And she's trying to convince her mom to stay in an in-treatment center rather than out-treatment. Because she thinks her mom and knows her mom needs some intensive, you know, treatment and therapy. So she takes her there and her mom has a good conversation with the guy, and I think he gets her to understand because she was like, well, you know, she was like, well, I feel like I don't need to stop taking my pills, but I'm drowning and I'm scared and I know that, you know, I need some help. And he was like, see, you can't have it both ways. You can't say, I want to keep getting high, but I'm drowning and I want something to change. It don't mesh. And he explained to her what was going on and why that a lot of it is chemical, not desire, and how that they can find some other alternatives other than opioids for her pain management and things like that. And so, you know, at the end of the episode, we find out that she does tell Britney that she decided she is going to stay. She decided that she's going to stay at the facility and she's not going back to Vegas with them. She's going to stay in Alaska. Now, unfortunately, at the end of the episode, when they do like the updates, unfortunately, her mama relapsed. Well, no, her mom didn't stay for the whole. I ain't gonna say she relapsed. Her mom didn't stay for the entire treatment. So I guess if it was 90 days, she didn't stay the whole 90 days, and she is back in Vegas. They didn't give no update on her whether she relapsed or not, but I feel like she probably did. Last but not least, and I saved these people for last because I loved it. Sean and Destiny. So Destiny asked them when got married. She done went and found one of her other tricks. One that she probably thought had a little bit of money, a little bit more money than what Sean had. And less baggage, didn't have all the kids and stuff. And baby, they done went and got married. Okay? And he's talking about how sweet Destiny is and how wonderful of a person she is. And I'm thinking, who the fuck you dating? Who did you marry? Because nothing that I have seen has shown me that that's who this woman is. So they got married and pulled off and everything, and she's still threatening Sean, talking about, you know, I have court in a couple of days, and he better be nice to me because, I mean, I can just as easily just not show up for court. So he better be nice to me. He better treat me right. And still, you know, I'm not going to tell him I'm married because I still want whatever he got left. She want to just drain him for whatever he got left, honey. So at the end of the episode, child, Sean gets a phone call from the correctional facility, and it is Destiny. And she's in jail. They remanded her ass. She got to serve out the rest of her sentence. So he's off the hook for the $50,000, right? She talking about something. I still need you to send me some money. I don't have anything here. Oh my God, I'm freaking out. Sean, I need you. I need you. I need you. He said, okay, well, I can't help you. That's not going to happen. Sean, I can't believe you would do this. When I need you the most, you're going to leave me like this? This is how you're going to treat me? He was like, yeah, I'm good. And he hung up on her while she was still yelling at him, right? Now, here's the dumb part. Child, he done found him another girlfriend in jail. He said he was talking to this girl and Destiny at the same time. And so this the girl he really like and he really loves her. And she's nothing like Destiny. I said, this motherfucker. Okay. So anyway, he done set himself up for next season. So I guess we're going to see Sean with his new trick. Child. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. I believe that's everybody. That's it. And that is all. And I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.